Hi, hello. I have a lot of things running in my mind that I want to speak about today, and I'm kind of doing this video without much preparation, as I always kind of want to let my thought stream expression kind of flow out of me. It always seems the most genuine and most authentic, and try as I might, I can't quite prepare. And actually this is kind of the subject, really. To me, that kind of impromptu emergence of expression, of something to say, is a feminine trait, is a expression of the feminine. But I'm going to speak about the experience of being a woman and the experience of being in a female body, or having a female body, having that kind of felt sense of femininity and feminine expression kind of living in my body, and like letting that out without putting stuff to kind of contain it, feels so rebellious, feels so outrageous, feels so wrong sometimes. And there is so much reason, I guess, and kind of history that kind of, that like a layer of historical misogyny and patriarchy and all sorts of, kind of expressions that were kind of put on the feminine and the female body, particularly in women, that sort of prevent this expansion and expression from kind of just being. And somehow today it feels so political to claim yourself as a woman, and I'm really curious what that makes you feel like when when I use the words woman, or you read my posts, for example, that clearly say I am a woman, and I'm supporting other women. Like, how is it for you as a woman to receive words that say I'm a woman, to hear yourself say it, basically, to yourself, because that's the receiving element. Like, okay, Inba wrote these words, but how does it feel reading them? How does it feel to me? How do I relate with that concept of being a woman? And there are many ways that could be kind of felt in your system. But my felt experience, when I write these words and when I speak from this womanhood of mine, I add a lot of sort of self-rejection, and it's really painful for me to experience my own psyche reciting words and saying things to me that are rejecting of me. So rejecting my womanhood in a way. And the sort of felt sense of that is that I can't do this. Like, I just want to go, wah, and I can't do that because I need to be organized and well thought out, and and make sense, talk sense, give you some kind of mental breakdown of things, and I can't express like this, I don't express like this, I embody this. I know what it feels like to be a woman, and I am really trying, all of my kind of focus and my practice is to penetrate that by myself, not to let other external forces and narrative to kind of dictate that. So what does it mean to me to be a woman, and what does it mean to be, for me to be in bar as a woman in this body, in this life? Like, who am I? What am I doing? How do I know that that's mine and not put on me? These are my questions, you know. This is the practice. This is, I don't have the answers. And because it's my personal body, it's mine, and I can't give that to you. You have yours. So I'm talking to women in particular because that's the kind of segment of society I work with. I work with women to help them find that kind of seed, the internal seed of themselves, and connect with that, make more contact with that, practice contact with the self of the woman through the body. So it's not a cognitive, it doesn't make sense necessarily, but it's a felt sense. But to get to the felt sense, we have to go through these layers of cognitive thinking, of reason and narrative, things that we tell ourselves that are just simply not true. And we do that constantly, basically. We have to do that constantly because now we have a lot of cleaning to do as women, a lot of cleaning to do, and a lot of work to kind of show up as ourselves. I don't like that word work because that suggests that we're doing something wrong, because we're not doing anything wrong. There's a kind of the external experience of life and how it's projected to us is through a male lens. It's been constructed through a male lens. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, but it just means that it's distorted and it's not the right lens for us. We are women, we are females, we have a female body, and the way it's understand things is just a way to understand things through a female body. So it doesn't really work for us to be in organizations and in platforms that, you know, were constructed by a male lens. It works for us to be in organizations and platforms and communities that are constructed by a female lens, but that female lens has to be a female lens, and rather than, you know, what the male projected on the female to be a female lens. So we need to be very careful at what sort of roles we kind of take on that aren't ours. And an example for that is like Facebook, for example, or Instagram. Like, in order to kind of express yourself and share your voice, you have to add a photo of yourself, and that photo of yourself has to be attractive in some way. Like, you can't really be ugly. I mean, you can, but that's another way to attract attention. So the whole construction of those platforms is to attract attention to you. So how do I make myself more, attractive? And we have many ways that we do that. And again, that's not to say they're wrong, but it is to say that it's, we have to really kind of clean up those expressions of ourselves that kind of want to, pull someone in by something that isn't true. This is just my this is my expression. I mean, you can agree or disagree. I don't know, but for me, it feels that yeah, there's cleaning up to do, and that's what I'm doing. That's my practice, is to really clean up my stickiness. And find more of myself inside myself, like not by, you know, isolating from things, but just really trying to kind of find what is the truth of my truth. And again, that's something that I do through the body. So my lovely body, again, how does it feel to kind of recite that back to yourself when you hear me say those words? You know, that's my lovely body. But how do you kind of feel it when your brain kind of recites it back to you, like, my lovely body, my lovely body? Do I reject my body? And in most cases, yes, you do. I do. Do I reject my womanhood? Yes, I do. Do I allow this kind of brain head mind fuck of I should, I shouldn't, I would, I could, I do, let's manipulate the situation to work? Like, do I allow that to take over? Or do I really kind of, am I really able to feel myself inside myself without the mind fuck? That's what we're doing in the program. So I've opened it up to a one-on-one journey. So we really get to kind of work with what it is that you're experiencing in that kind of through your body. So really working with you and together with me as a reflection to kind of just start to feel through those layers, start to kind of see how it is that we're sort of constructed something that's not ours around ourselves, like around our bodies. It feels so limiting sometimes. And so, like, how do we start to kind of unravel that and feel, kind of take away from this cognitive thinking narrative mindfuck, and start to feel it here, feel it here, feel it here, feel it in the belly, feel it in the pelvis, feel it in the thighs, in the legs, in the feet. How do we start feeling in our body? How do we feel in our body? In the program, we work with those layers, like the chest area, the belly area, the pelvis, and then the yoni, the vagina. Like, how do we feel ourselves as women in this body? What is the expression of these body parts? What are they, you know, what are they kind of saying? What do they want to feel? How do they want to be in the world? Like, how much space does my body want to take? How much do I want to feel in parts of myself? What is preventing me from feeling and expressing and really being free? And it's not a solution. It's not a program that sort of says, okay, do this 1, 2, 3, and then you'll be freed, because it doesn't work like this. We have centuries of kind of conditioning and layers to work through, and but we're working on a personal level. So we're projecting to the future, like, my future self wants to feel a certain way, like it wants to have more freedom, but I have to do the work now. Like, I have to practice what that means now. And also, you know, for the future generation, if I have daughters, if I have boys, and like for the world, like, how do I want to show up? How do I want other women to show up around me? How do I want my family to be with me? How do I want my friends to connect with me? Like, what are the relationships that I want to have in this world? So it all connects, but it starts with me. And I know it's, you know, the mindfuck wants to say, oh, you're such a narcissist. But no, it starts with you. Those ripples that you create have an effect. They move in this way that sort of affects others around you, the vibration around you. So we want to move them. We want to start moving these particles in ourselves and in the body, like, yeah, just start to touch them, move them, bring some more some life life back. And you know, there are all this content on social media, and just we have a lot of content. We understand, but like, how does it feel to understand? And working from the felt sense, from that embodied awareness, like, okay, I understand how this works, but what does that even mean? Like, you know, we talk a lot about the nervous system and blah, 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 and like, the nervous system is an organ in the body. That's the nerves create sensation, or are there to sense. That's the purpose. That's why it's there. That's what it's doing. That's how we move in the world. We have to connect with that in a visceral way. We have to understand how it works. Rather, we have to understand how it feels to us to have a nervous system. What does our nervous system is aware of? Like, how far can it reach? Where does it sense too? It's not a cognitive idea. It is also, but it's also like an organ in my body that I can really feel with, use, and utilize, and get in contact with on a felt sense level. So yeah, it starts with me, it starts with you, it starts with us, having these dialogues, these kind of cleaning up dialogues. So yeah, if you want to work with me, there is the program for My Lovely Body, which is really a container to kind of work through some layers in a contained way. But I'm also offering one-on-one sessions by way of, just ad hoc. What am I feeling right now? I call them inner knowing mentoring sessions, but it's really just to drop all that cognitive blah blah mind fuck, and come into the body with the experience, and experience what it is that you experience externally. Experience it in the body, allow it the expression, allow the space to kind of work through you, allow the thoughts to work through you, and work with that as a movement, and generate motion. So yes, you can also work with me ad hocly, once in a while. So all of my menu is on the link in my bio, and I'm really wanting to support your inquiry. Again, not from a place that knows more necessarily, but this is my own inquiry. This is the realms with which I swim, is in introspection and self-inquiry, and the kind of body wisdom for awareness and how I want to show up. So I'm wanting to support you, and I'm here for that. So yeah, get in touch. I offer, like I said, these sessions. You can also book a 20-minute kind of discovery call with me. So we just talk about, you and I, and how we can work together, what might suit you. So I'm really open to kind of having a dialogue about, you and what you need, and how I can kind of support that. So I'm fluid and flexible in my offerings too. So I'm looking forward to hearing what it is that you need. So get in touch, and hopefully I'll hear from you, whoever you are. And yeah, let me know how this kind of translates in your system, how these words that I said, maybe not so eloquently, or I don't know, How do they land? Where do they land? Yeah. Take care.